Good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday evening meditation, the final meditation for 2021. Now, I don't know about you, but the year has gone so quickly. I still feel like we're in 2020. What have we learned? What have we discovered? What joys have we experienced? What achievements have we achieved? These are what we want to focus on this evening as we say goodbye to this year and as we welcome in our new year. We want to prepare ourselves. We want to make sure that we have honored all that has gone on with us over the past year. And then whenever we need to let go of and clear, we let go of and clear so we can be ready for all of the goodness that 2022 holds for us. And we can be ready to receive and see all of that goodness. Because often it's there, we choose not to see it, or we can't see it with blind spots. But here is where we can make that choice to have a clear vision and open eyes for all of the goodness that is in our lives. All the goodness that has come before in 2021 and all that will come after in 2022. Now, as you know, if you have been here before, we work with the Earth Magic deck of cards. It's a beautiful deck. And we allow the cards to guide how we focus our meditation today. So we'll draw a card. I will read a little bit about the card while I put the card up for you to really gaze on and absorb the images, absorb what the words are, what you hear, what you feel when you look at the card and listen to the reading, and then how it may apply to an area of your life, again, as we close out this year and as we welcome in our new one. So, to choose the card, it's simple. All you have to do is add your energy. Just hold up your hands or close your eyes and focus on the cards. As I shuffle them, I will draw the first card off of the top. And that way you can see that I've not reached in and used my own intuition or drawn my own card. I'm going to draw the card that we all can see is on the top, that we've all added our energy to, and that will be our card for our reading this evening, for our last reading of 2021. Let's get started. So hold those hands up. I'll move the cards around. I'm not a very good shuffler. Let's see. Got it. If you were here last week, we had an adapted version of our winter solstice service that we used to have in the sanctuary of the Institute for Spiritual Development in Washington, D.C. Made some adaptations so that it could fit into my tiny home, but focused on the winter solstice message, which was the preparation for the darkness to come, which we've now gone through that portal. And whereas the winter solstice day was the longest amount of darkness of the year with the shortest amount of daylight, we've now started to add to those daylight hours each and every day. So as we hibernate throughout the winter, we know that light is not coming, light's always here. We are just going to be able to see it more and more clearly in the months ahead. So as always, I hope for a card we haven't seen, but also know that when we draw a card that we have seen, that the message that it has for us is being a little persistent. So let's look. Our card for the last evening meditation of 2021 is, well, I don't know how I feel about this. Fog. Veiled. I think we know generally what that means. We're looking for some clarity, aren't we? We're looking for some clarity. I'm going to put the card down so that you can look at it from another camera while I read about the fog card, which we have gotten several times, so perhaps you've memorized what I have to say about it already. But clarity must be important. Clearing the fog must be particularly important to us, especially as we do these Wednesday evening meditations. So let's see what it has to say. So let's read about fog and veiled. And again, how does the word feel to you? Fog. How does the word veiled feel to you? What does it call up inside of you? And then the card, what do you see when you look at the image of the sun piercing through the fog, the mountains, the color? Fog is simply a low cloud, a blanket of water crystals that hasn't gained the density of raindrops. The thicker it is, the more it shrouds us in its damp and billowy arms. It can be so thick that it makes it nearly impossible to see directly in front of us. During those times, silence makes its own sound as we pause and allow ourselves to be enveloped in this shroud of impenetrable density. We may even feel as if we can do nothing but be still and await what is to be revealed. Yet even within the thickest fog, we can be assured that will eventually burn off as the sun's rays infiltrate it. Once they do, we can anticipate how the light and warmth will bring us welcome relief from the cold. As the sun continues to disperse our fog, our surroundings become illuminated, and we have the opportunity to continue onward. I'm going to forego reading the book's interpretation of this and offer some words, especially as we spoke of just moving through the winter solstice, moving into the light, where I just said that we probably would find more clarity. So, isn't the fog card a natural card for these last few days of 2021? Of course it's veiled. Of course, the way that things are now is the way that we think or hope that it might be. But let's face it, we've learned, especially in the last couple of years, that that might not always be so. So we think we can see ahead of us, but we also know that there are a lot of unknowns and a lot of changes and a lot of experiences that can happen as the new year unfolds. So I say that this is a natural card for us to have at this time of year. Of course, the new year has failed. It's not been unveiled yet. But what I love about what it says in the book is that we pause and allow ourselves to be enveloped in this shroud of impenetrable density. This is that chance. We choose to bask in the comfort of this density, of the veil. And we can choose to experience this veil or this uncertainty as something to be afraid of or something to be excited about. So today especially, I really see this meditation, this journey that we're taking, as one to course correct any tendency that we may have to view the unknown with fear, and instead to view it with expectancy, which means that we naturally expect that things will unfold the way that they should, and that they will unfold well and to our benefit, because they always do, even if we don't see it. So can you make that choice with me? Because I can tell you that it is quite often difficult for me to not have fear of what is unknown and instead have expectancy and excitement. Don't we all get excited about going on vacation? We don't know what's going to be on the other side of the car ride or the plane trip, but we know that we're going on vacation and that we're excited about it. We don't go away or pack up the car or our suitcase thinking, I'm going to go away to something that really stinks. We don't. It's vacation. It's going to be fun. Which allows us to create that fun quite often during several circumstances that might be less than optimal. But it's the idea that we live expectantly for this experience, that we want it, and that we will make it happen no matter what. So let's do that with the new year. Let's do that. Let's just know that this fog is this blissful time that we can envision goodness. We don't even have to be specific about it. We can just envision goodness and envision our being able to see that goodness with clarity. So you don't even have to work for it tonight. You don't have to write anything down. You don't have to put all your focus on one thing or a set of things. All you have to do is focus expectantly, with excitement and anticipation, like you do for your vacation or your time off of work, or time with your family, or a holiday. Let's be excited. Let's be excited to be in the fog, because whatever is behind it is exciting. I think you get the idea. Shall we go into meditation? Get comfortable. Make your nest. Make it so that you are not experiencing any tension caused by where you're sitting or where you're lying down. Instead, you've propped yourself up just right, and you made yourself ready to take this journey this night. And we'll start by focusing on our breath. So we're going to inhale. I'm going to hold. We're going to exhale. Let's inhale again. And hold. And exhale. And on our third breath, if you haven't already, on the exhale, let's just close our eyes, allow them to flutter shut. As we focus on our breathing, just pay attention from this point forward. Pay attention just for a few more seconds to how your air feels, what it does as it enters your body, as you fill your body with life-giving oxygen, and then as you exhale that air fully. And if your mind begins to wander, or if thoughts begin to creep in as we meditate, just bring yourself back to the breath. But until then, let's breathe. each breath, we become more and more relaxed. Each breath allows us to feel more comfortable in our own bodies. As we go deeper and deeper, in our state of relaxation, we realize that we have, with this relaxation, released any aches or pains. We just let them go. We release any mental anguish or despair. We have released any frustration. Or anger. Or disharmony. And also, as we have gone deeper and deeper, we realize that we have allowed our physical sensation of our body to just temporarily disappear. And what has remained as we strike the tones is our purest and most beautiful essence. Every sound of the tone allows us to experience the purity and the beauty of our deep essence. And as the tone fades, we experience this ever so pure and clean and clear essence. We are in this space where there is no light, but it is just that we can't see the light at the moment. Instead, we choose the comfort, the warm and enveloped feeling we have here. And while we're in this safe that is so safe, the space that is so safe, we just allow our minds to drift ever so gently over the experience of our last year. We allow ourselves the opportunity to allow our minds to see the benchmarks of goodness that our last year, that our 2021 has brought us. And so as we re-enter into the sound of the tones, I invite you to allow the tones to signal a benchmark of goodness for you from the last year. Something that felt good, an event that was wonderful, conversation that was beautiful and life-changing, an overcoming of a fear or a trepidation. These tones now can draw us back to those benchmarks. We can see our year as a year of goodness for us. Each tone we feel the rise of another benchmark. How do those benchmarks feel? Can you see 2021 as a wonderful year with wonderful memories? Even one memory that's wonderful is a wonderful memory. And here again, while safe in this space, let us envision the wonderful fog-covered year ahead. See it as that veil, gauzy or smoky. And you can kind of see activity happening behind the veil or behind the fog. And whatever you see or whatever you may hear in that fog and through that fog sounds pretty interesting on this side. Maybe you have a trip planned for yourself you haven't experienced before. Maybe you're starting a new job. Maybe you've planned your wedding or a reunion. Maybe your baby is due. All these things that are there to make us expectant for the goodness of the coming year. All of these experiences that are the touchstones of goodness for the coming year and throughout. We don't need to see them all clearly right now, for tonight is about basking in the fog and creating that sense of excitement and anticipation that ultimately help us to want to make the very most of our year that we can. We know that to do this, we must have that determination of the anticipation of our vacation or school being out for summer or Christmas. So let's just bask in that fog for a few more minutes, knowing, hearing bits and pieces of the coming year through the fog, but being intrigued and interested and allowing curiosity to inspire and guide. And as the tone drifts away, we sense in the days ahead the fog will be clearing, and yes, the sunbeams will begin to stream through, drawing us toward the excitement of the new year. And before the fog clears, we want to be surprised. We want to be excited, so we are choosing to return to our physical selves. And we sense that breath as it comes in, cleanses, and then goes out. Again, as it enters, and exits. And let's return fully to our bodies. With 3 quick breaths, we will open our eyes on the final breath. Let's inhale 1 and exhale. And 2 and exhale. 3 and exhale. Here we are. Yes, tonight was really about enjoying the fog and being able to review our previous year with the perspective of goodness that helps us create anticipation and enthusiasm for the coming year. I hope that you can take these last couple of days of 2021, enjoy that fog. Enjoy that experience of not knowing, the anticipation of being able to create whatever you want to create from that strike of New Year's. It's all our choice in how we see it and how we experience it. Let's choose the excitement, the anticipation. I thank you for joining us all of 2021, for sharing in this experience of allowing the Oracle cards to guide what we already know, to bring us to a space where we already have the answer, that allows us to see the answer with clarity, and most importantly, to take the action from what the answer has brought to us. Not always an easy task, but here in this space together, we can do that. ISD has quite a bit coming up. I am going to announce now that we had been intending on having our first in-person service this coming Sunday, January 2nd. We are going to be responsible stewards of public health. We are going to hold off on that in-person service until we can enjoy it without the specter of the rising rates of the COVID virus and of the Omicron variant that is now sweeping at least our area by storm, the Washington, Maryland, and Virginia area. So look for our service online at its regular time at 11 o'clock. And we will hopefully be in person for the first Sunday in February. But right now we want to make sure that we all get healthy and stay healthy and keep each other full of the vibrant health that we know that we can choose for ourselves. So check the website for any updates that we have. We'll make sure in the next 2 days to be as current as we possibly can with any decisions that we are making. So check the website, but it looks as if we are going to be postponing our in-person return to the month of February. And we ask that you stay with us, and we thank you for bearing with us, and look forward to seeing you at one of the many events we have coming up in the year ahead. I love you all. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving your energy, your gifts to our spiritual community. And I look forward to much more. Have a great night. Happy New Year. So long.